I'm Ann Johnson Stewart, and I'm running for State Senate in Minnesota District 45. I am a civil engineer, a former state senator, and a former business owner, and I teach at the University of Minnesota. I am running to build communities where all of us, regardless of where we live, who we are, or who we love, can thrive. I live in Minnetonka with my husband and our 2 dogs. We raised all 4 of our kids here, and they all graduated from Wayzata Public Schools, including my husband. I'm active at my grandkids' school as a volunteer and at our community church, and I also serve on several private boards. My parents were both public school teachers and union members, which taught me the value of hard work, the importance of our public schools, and how having a world-class education can provide the opportunity for all of us to live our best lives. I first ran for Senate to address the need for common sense gun violence reduction in Minnesota. My brother is a first responder and firefighter. His experiences have affirmed for me how vital it is for police and first responders to have the resources and support they need, and how important their work is to our daily lives. I was also very concerned about the lack of support for our state's infrastructure and felt strongly that we needed a civil engineer in the Senate. I have since learned that I was the first civil engineer to ever serve in the Senate, and I still believe we need to elect someone with my expertise, given the billions of dollars our state spends on infrastructure and facilities. I think it's especially important right now, especially as we address the many issues around drinking water and surface water quality throughout our entire state. Those issues still motivate me, but I know that right now we must maintain the responsive and compassionate leadership that voters deserve. We desperately need legislators that trust women to make their own healthcare decisions. As a senator, I wrote the bill to protect abortion rights in Minnesota, and I have been working as an advocate for women and their rights for the last 40 years. If elected, I will continue to do that work. You know, as a civil engineer, I know how infrastructure works, and what I love about it is it does not have a party. We all depend on it. We all take it for granted, and we all expect it to work. And we must have it to power a thriving economy. In 1995, I started a small business, and I grew it from 1 to a staff of 35 people that shared my skills for data-driven problem solving and building the things that we all depend on. As a small business owner, I balanced a budget, I paid taxes, I made payroll, and I paid fair wages to ensure that my staff could support their families. I am confident that my career and life experiences have prepared me to serve my neighbors well in the Minnesota Senate. You know, there's so much at stake in this one election. My opponent and I have very different visions for our state. My vision is one that moves Minnesota forward. Reproductive freedom is under attack by Republican legislatures. As a mom and a grandma, I am so worried that my girls and my granddaughter will lose control over their bodies and their futures if I don't win this election. You know, I served in the Senate when Republicans were in the majority, and I remember countless attempts to restrict or outlaw abortion. I remember nearly zero funding for public schools and no concern for our changing climate, for our energy needs, or for reducing gun violence. We cannot go back to that, and we will not go back to that. This election is about moving Minnesota forward and continuing the progress we've made. I ask for your vote on November 5th. Thank you.